Hello YouTubers, this is Cedrick Turner with Now That's Crazy. We're kicking it off again with a new start to a new year. Thank you all so much. I'm very proud to say that we have reached our 100 subscribers and we're going to continue to grow from there. Thank you all again. And without further ado, we're just going to get the ball rolling. Today, as promised, we have our new cooking segment, Cooking with Ced, aka me. And today we're going to make a double Dutch. Deep Dish Caramel Peach Cobbler. Okay, so for our utensils, you're going to need a knife, a set of measuring cups, a cooking brush, and a whisker. So I actually have 2 bowls that I'm going to make peach cobbler out of today. I have 2 small bowls right here, and I have 1 big one. I'm using one of the small bowls right now because I already have 2 cans of peaches in there. Some people use 3 or more, but you just want to use enough peaches depending upon how many people you're cooking for. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is turn your stove to, medium, so about medium high, and then you want to preheat your oven to 350. Okay, so these are our ingredients right here, which is very simple. We have 2 sticks of butter, we have eggs. I actually have the extra large, but if you can just find large, that's fine. I have cooking spray for the pan that we're going to use. You're going to need a 13 by 9-inch pan. We have caramel, cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, lemon juice, sugar, and of course, can of peaches. Of course, I already have the peaches in the fridge already cooling. And this is very important. Now, when we use we also have flour. Now, if you get the self-rising flour, then you won't need these extra 2 ingredients that I have. But since I don't have self-rising flour, you're going to need baking powder, a pinch of that, and a pinch of salt. You won't see me using salt as much in any of my cooking videos because I don't cook with just regular iodized salt, but some dishes call for it. I've been cooking since I was about 5 years old. Pretty much everybody in my family knows how to cook, and you name it, we know how to cook it, from desserts to soul food, and it pretty much dwindles down. It's like it's like the sister to our main talent in my family, which is music. We love singing, and it's funny because we don't have any musicians in our family, but they're all singers. But aside from singing, we love cooking, and it's really fun. From my aunties to my mother, whom I've watched cook all of my life, I know they're all going to have high expectations for me as far as how I'm cooking. But anywho, this dish is pretty much a family fave, from our family reunions to our cousins when we get together and we do potlucks. Like, we really do cook a lot, and I actually have quite a bit of cousins who have their own recipes to their peach cobbler. Pretty much almost all of us have a secret recipe to our peach cobbler. I think I do want to, make it known that 2 things. One, with the caramel, the ingredient, the caramel, I actually infuse it with vanilla. So you may not see any vanilla in this video, but I did include it in my caramel that I put in the egg wash that we created, that we're going to put on the actual top of the peach cobbler, and also it went in the filler. So when you look at the filler, you'll see where all of that is being added in. But pretty much, cooking, it's simple. Now I will say this. Now, everybody has their own recipe to cooking peach cobbler, to frying chicken, to making those foods. If you're a black person like me, you know there are certain foods that you just cannot mess up. Okay, the coleslaw, the fried chicken, the chitlins, the macaroni and cheese, the greens. You know, you just can't mess up those. And peach cobbler, like, you don't want to mess up this. Like, if you cook that wrong, you will get looked at crazy. Like, if you can't cook these foundational foods, it's going to be very hard for you to be able to cook other foods. And I tell people, you know, especially when you start out cooking, if you don't know how to do simple things like boiling water, or if you don't like butter, if you don't like flour, if you don't like a lot of sugar, you don't want to deal with us, because I mean we put our foot in our food when we make it. So, you know, but I can't wait for you all to see the finished product. I think you all will really like it. So pretty much what you see me doing right now is I'm just, you know, mincing this flour and that butter. And what you want to do is make sure that you add more milk as possible. You'd want to get it from becoming sticky to you're going to end up forming a ball. So you want to keep rubbing it. It gets really messy. So, and it's okay if you make mistakes. That's fine. That's the beauty of cooking. But once you turn it into a ball on a flat surface, I'm actually using parchment paper for my surface. You just want to add a little flour along the bottom, and then you want to just, you know, smooth the flour around on the whole, you know, parchment paper or whatever. And then you want to put the ball on there. Once you put the ball of dough, which is what it is, you just want to go ahead and start kneading it. So go ahead and start grabbing it, and you want to stretch it and start folding it. Add flour as necessary to take away the sticky filling, and so that's going to help it not stick to you anymore. You want to just keep, you know, as you see me stretching it and folding it, that's all you have to keep doing, and you should be good. And so once we finish the folding part, basically you're going to have this big ball. And what I like to do is I like to cut it in half. And, you know, you want to go ahead, once you cut it in half really nice, go ahead and make sure you ball it up. Make sure you have a nice size of each one, because they're both going to become one is going to become the bottom of your peach cobbler, and the other one is going to become the top of it. Now, I didn't have a roller, and so I do suggest that you get that as well, so that it'll make it easier for you to smooth out this dough. But I just went the old school way and used my hand. And so it takes a little bit longer, but it does get the job done. And so we're going to get it into like a very flat surface. I kind of go ahead and smush it out into like a circle form first, and it'll look as if you know, about to bake a pizza or something. So you want to get it into like a circular form, and then we'll be able to start, we'll shape it with a knife once we've gotten it really big. So you want to make it, stretch it out as far as you can. I suggest starting in the middle where you start to feel lumps. Go ahead and start smushing it down. If you feel the butter, go ahead and smush on it. That's fine too. Start in the middle, and once you smushed it on one side really good, go ahead and flip it over and add some more flour on the other side. You want to keep doing this until you have this nice flat sheet of a surface. Okay, and also I do want to mention that so this particular bread that we're flattening out right now is going to become the bottom of the peach cobbler. So what you're going to do here, once we get it in a circle, you'll see what we do next with it. And then, but you want to go ahead and flatten it out. Once you flatten it out really nice, you're going to roll it up, and we're going to set it to the side and then work on the top bread. Okay, so now we're working on the top of the peach cobbler. Now this is going to work a little bit differently. So I'm working with the second ball of dough that we have now, and we're going to go ahead and stretch it out. I actually made a third one because I'm doing a deep dish peach cobbler. Now if you were doing a regular one, you would only need 2 of these. But since I'm doing my deep dish peach cobbler, we're going to go ahead and make a third one. I didn't put that one in here because it's the same process as this one that you see now. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stretch this out. And you want to keep stretching this out. It normally take about 2 or 3 minutes max. But that's if you don't have a roller. If we had a roller, this would be much quicker. But other than that, we're just going to go ahead and continue. If you don't have one, like I said, go old school, use your hands. Okay, so this for me is the fun part. I like doing this, which is what we're going to do with this top. Is once you got it really nice and flat and you put flour on both sides, we're going to go ahead and start to shape it. Use a nice sharp knife that cuts right through. You might want to, shake your knife a little bit as you're cutting to go ahead and tear it off. But what we're going to do with this top is we're going to cut them into strips. And these strips are what's going to go on the top of your peach cobbler as we prepare them to go in the oven. Now, this is the most important part because the more bread you add, the more crust that you're going to have on the peach cobbler. So what I've done, since it's a deep dish, you'll see where I have one where you would have for a regular peach cobbler, you would only need 1 set of strips. I'm actually going to create 2 sets of strips. So you want to go ahead and do this until you cut up all of your dough and have them into, nice long strips. And once we're finished cutting these strips up, we're going to roll these up, and these along with so I made 2 sets of strips, and then I made 1 regular circle of dough that's going to become the bottom of my peach cobbler. So all of that, you want to roll it up. You probably might end up having 1 set of strips and 1 bottom of your peach cobbler. And it just depends on how much you're cooking. But what we're going to do is we're going to roll it up, add flour to the top one more time, as you see me doing. And we're going to roll this up, and we're going to put this all in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to be exact. So what you're going to do is right here, we've just made it to the actual 13 by 9 skillet. I've just taken some butter flavored cooking spray, and you just want to go along the edges and along the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the crust and we're going to unroll it, and then we're going to place it along the bottom, and then we're going to use a knife to go ahead and cut the edges off. Don't worry if it does not fit in right then. Also, as you can see, you can put flour like I did along the bottom, and that just helps loosen the dough up as I place it on the bottom. See, what you want to do is once you place it in there, go ahead and smush it to the edges. You're going to spend just a minute shaping it correctly. Okay, so right here, we're going to take that egg wash that you saw me make earlier, and we're going to just drizzle it along the sides of the pan. And this is going to help as I begin to start placing my first set of strips. So that's why I made 2 sets of strips, you guys, because I'm doing a deep dish. So the first set of strips are going to go as you see me placing it along the edges. And we're going to do 2 rows of them going up on each side and on the ends as well of the pot. And once we put those up, we're going to drizzle more egg wash around on those too. So when you're done smoothing the edges, the strips along the edge of the pan, what we're going to do now is take some of the egg wash, and we just want to go along the sides and the ends of the pan again. And once you've done that, we're going to take our filling that we brought to a boil earlier, and we're just going to go ahead and take it, stir it a little bit, get it stirred up really nice, and go ahead and pour it in the pan very slowly. You want to get all of it in there, everything. And you'll know that you boiled it really nice once the sugar is dissolved. And then once we're done with that, you're just going to go ahead and start adding your strips. So we're going to add them diagonally in both directions. Make sure you have enough space between each one. I usually start with the longer strips first, and then I go down and dwindle to the smaller ones. Thankfully, I had enough strips. I almost ran out of them. And if you do, just make another dough, a ball of dough like I did. But thankfully, I had enough strips. I had 2. I still had some of the first set left, and then I had a whole brand new set of strips. So as you can see, I'm just building along the sides. Now I'm going to go along the other direction as well. And all right. And so as you see the edges, you want to make sure that you smush them along the ends right there. And finally, we're going to take that egg wash again that we were working on earlier. You just want to start drizzling it along the top of the actual strips. So I went along each one and kind of added a second dosage, of the egg wash. And you want to go along the edges one more time. Be mindful of how you place the strips, because that's exactly how it's going to cook in the oven. So take this time to make any corrections or whatever. Then after that, once you made your corrections, we're going to get it in the oven. And it's going to be in the oven for about 60 to 75 minutes. Now, ideally, you want to get this out when it's done with both hands. But of course, I'm using one because it's a video and I'm an expert at this. But be careful. You'll know it's done when it starts to bubble along the bottom and it's golden brown at the top. And there you have it. that's it for today. Thank you all for tuning into my video with this new, well, new to you, but old to me recipe for an amazing peach cobbler. This can be eaten at any family event or any corporate event you can think of. I hope that you are replicated and enjoy. I think you'll really love it. I can't tell you the secret ingredient, but make your own secret ingredient, put it in there, you know. But other than that, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel and take a look at some of our previous content. Once again, thank you for tuning in. See you in the future.